Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about the Black Friday. Of course, when you see this one, it's probably already over, but I thought that it would be a good idea to do a summarize, a sum up, call it whatever you want, of all the offers and what you should definitely get. Of course, we had the Carro 45 ton that was the main price for this. That was way too expensive, so I decided personally not to get it at all. I'm not spending $300 for something I'm going to play maybe 10 games with. And hopefully for me, there are better offers that I think are linked to what you can find in the shop right now. And this is what we're going to talk about. But before this video begins, make sure to check the link in the description that will redirect you to an Amazon video in which you will have the possibility of winning multiple prizes. And for me, the tank to get during the Black Friday event is the Object 907 for one simple reason: the price. 15,000 gold for such a beast is definitely one of the greatest news of this year. Basically, it's 1/3, even maybe 1/6 of the price when it comes to the Carro 45 ton, and it's a better tank in every single aspect. I'm gonna tell you exactly why in this video, and hopefully you get yourself one. Let's make this quick. Medium Russian tanks are known for their DPM and amazing gun dispersion. The Object 907 is probably the best when it comes to gun from the Russian lines and the Russian mediums, which means that on the scale from the worst to the best medium only for the gun, this one will be probably at the second or even first place. Given its abilities, it's definitely something with which you're gonna have a lot of fun. 3.1k DPM, reload time of nearly 6 seconds, average penetration sitting at 257 with your regular, 330 with your gold shell, average damage the traditional 310, but most importantly 7 degrees of gun depression, allowing you to be versatile on pretty much every single map. And please make sure to notice that this tank is quite close to the ground, which means that the 7 degrees of gun depression are going to be artificially improved regardless of the map you're playing on. Second factor, the mobility. The Object 907 is probably among the fastest medium tanks, and of course, sitting at 60 kilometers per hour, you definitely can climb from one position to another without really any struggles. Of course, this allows you to push with the rest of your team, but also come back if you see that things are going to be too spicy on the position you already took. To finish off, in my opinion, the only downside of the tank is the lack of armor, specifically on the turret. Yes, with regular shells, people will bounce you specifically if they shoot this area or this area, but as soon as they get a little bit of the better gun dispersion and sneak their shells right nearby the gun mantlet, here or here, so exactly where the yellow part of the camo is hitting, they will penetrate you, unlike a T62A with which you definitely have more chances of bouncing your opponents. But to be fair, once you learn the playstyle featured on the Object 907, you will not care anymore about the armor. And talking about playstyle, I want you to take a look at 2 replays I did with the tank. One with which we're going to play with the whole team, and one on which we're going to play on the medium side, because in my opinion, both of those are different and they can bring you some characteristics on how you're supposed to play the 907. So based on what I told you, you want to find an all-down position, but not a position from which you are going to show your turret, rather a position from which you will just sneak your shell and go back to a safe cover. And you're going to see that it's already starting, and unfortunately for us, we took a shell straight into our turret armor. For example, if I was playing with a T62A, this shell, regardless of if it was a gold shell or not from the heavy 215B, would never have penetrated. But here it's a 907, so it's a little bit different. So what you want to do with the 907 overall, regardless of the map, you need to understand that you are a DPM machine and you are supposed to be played like one. But as you do not have any armor, you need your opponents to take shots for you. So how will this affect your playstyle? You want to stay always with either the main forces, or if you can't, at least with people that will take shots for you. Of course, your role on the battlefield is to snap as many possible shells, and doing so, you will allow your teammates to push forward while you destroy the target. Here is a perfect example of that. If we pause 2 seconds the gameplay, what do we see? We see that the IS-7 is trying to circle the 2 chieftains on the other side. I feel like they don't need my help, but I can't really stay on the other side where I was first. Why? Because I told you I do not have enough armor, which means that if I try to brawl against other opponents, and specifically the F215B that has a better armor than me, I'm going to die. So I would rather go on the back, support. Please listen to this word, support. I would rather support the chieftains, waiting for the guy to die, and after going back into the game. But the Object 907 is a pretty weak tank by itself if you're really looking for something that will brawl, attack, be versatile. You are not versatile, you are a support to whatever the main strength of your team is. If you have more tank destroyers, you are going to be a support for tank destroyers. If you have more heavies, you are going to be a support for heavies, etc, etc. But you will always have this support role written on your head. So you see that we're not necessarily going to make a lot of damage in this game. We are going to barely pass 3,000. But this is what to expect in the new meta of World of Tanks Blitz now that they merged the servers, because it seems like it changed a lot when it comes to the playstyle, not mentioning the skill rating battle system that just matches you with people that have the same level as you, which makes it difficult to shine on the battlefield. But regardless, we still did a pretty good game, no kills whatsoever, but we don't care, we were not playing in a platoon. We got the victory, and we're gonna be greeted with something awesome that I forgot to mention. We are talking about a real premium. Yes, it's a collectible, but it's gonna make a lot of credits. So the first replay showed you that with the Object 907, you are supposed to play a little bit in the back, not too much, what I like to call the medium line support. Basically, you are not among the first one to really brawl hard, but at the same time, you are not as far away from the battlefield as regular tank destroyers that are just here to camp. You need to compromise between those two lanes in order to fit. So basically here, for example, I use my mobility to take an advanced position to be able to sneak my shells at the beginning. But you see that I'm not trying anything stupid. I'm not trying to push forward. I'm not trying anything because first, I don't have the information. And second, even if I had the information, I don't want to be the one facing the opponents by myself. I'm gonna get destroyed. My role is to wait for opponents to be reloading, and when they are reloading, bang, 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 I go out of my position, snap my shells, and go back to a safe cover. On top of that, you see that you only have 5 seconds of reload when using adrenaline, and this is going to be your best friend when you use it wisely, because 5 seconds, imagine you're facing an E100 that doesn't have a 100% crew, it's basically 3 shots while the E100 is reloading, which means that you can inflict nearly 930 damage if you are lucky on your RNG. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. This tank is a DPM monster, and on top of that, as you only have 310 alpha damage, people are not gonna take too much care about you. They will just forget that you exist because they're gonna think, okay, he's only doing 310, I'm gonna focus on the other tanks. What a mistake. What a mistake, because yes, I'm only doing 310, but if I'm using adrenaline, it's every 5 seconds. So in definitive, I have one of the best DPMs this game has to offer, which will allow me to snap my shells and destroy everyone. And in this game, this is exactly what happened, or what I did here is going on the medium side, waited for the mediums or the Minotaur that was with us push. I followed him, tried to sneak my shells, and as soon as I was over, I went to another position from which I was still able to only play in support. And only, and really only when it's the end of the game and you know that there is no danger anymore, can you go out of your position, snap your shell, and why not kill a Grill 15 that is pushing recklessly. And just like that, you learned how to play with the Object 907. Because I feel like a lot of you, when they saw a Russian medium, and specifically knowing how crazy the tank is in World of Tanks PC, a lot of you tried to buy it and were probably disappointed because they don't know how to play it. In World of Tanks PC, this thing is freaking hardcore and can do... It's literally a T62A better. It's a better T62A. But in Blitz, it's a little bit more subtle when it comes to the playstyle. And hopefully, if you follow the quick advices I gave in this video, you should be fine. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And personally, I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye.